G'day guys, and welcome to Retrospectreviews. I'm Vince. Now, about 6, maybe 7 years ago, back in 2017, when the channel was, I think it was only about 6 months old, maybe not even that, I made a video called Top 10 Favorite Video Games in My Collection. And I stated these are the top 10 games that I'll never get rid of. Now, a lot has changed in those 7 years. I've obviously added hundreds more games to my collection. So I thought it'd be fun, as we're getting close to my 7th year here on YouTube, to go back to an older video and just see what has changed. On the original list was Disney Golf on the PS2, Outlaw Golf on the PS2, Spore on the IBM, Keystone Capers on the Atari 2600, Hell, a cyberpunk thriller on the IBM, the Mario Party games on the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii, Dragon's Lair on the Amiga, the Leisure Suit Larry collection on the IBM, Maniac Mansion on the Commodore 64, and Zack Kraken on the IBM. So that was technically the first 10 games I picked back in 2017. So let's now go through the list of games for 2024 that I would not get rid of in my collection. Number 1 is the original SimCity on the Amiga. Now, I talked about this in a video not long ago, so I'll leave a link to that in the description or at the end of the video. Now, I've got the box art that has the original Godzilla on it, which was changed due to a copyright claimed by Toho, the owners of Godzilla, which meant Max has had to change the box art to the tornado for future release games, and they also changed Godzilla in the game from green to red to appease Toho and their copyright claim. But it's a game that I've loved from the very beginning, and I just love that artwork. I've had the opportunity to get other copies with the tornado on the front, but hey, the one that really has fond memories for me, the first box art I ever saw of SimCity, was the one with the Godzilla on the box.
All those ghosts turn blue, boo! And PacMan eats them all too. Have you played PacMan? It's the new video.
Number 2 is PacMan on the Atari 2600. Now, I know PacMan has a bad reputation as being a bad port for the Atari 2600, but it holds fond memories for me, because when we got our Atari 2600 in the early 80s, it was one of the first games that we got, and one of the first games I was actually reasonably good at. We got Space Invaders, boxed with our Atari 2600, but the place that was selling it also threw in Asteroids and PacMan. Out of those 3 games, PacMan was probably the game that I knew how to play and could play the best, followed by Asteroids and then Space Invaders. Now, I wasn't that good at Space Invaders as a kid, but my brother sure was, and that was his game. And mine was PacMan.
Searches out strange creatures on distant planets. But the deeper the ark travels in space, the tougher it gets.
Number 3, Wild Cuttings on the Tandy Coco 3. Now, this holds sentimental value for me because it was one of the first games I got on the Tandy Coco 3, which was our first computer we ever had at home. And I absolutely loved this game. Now, it came on a cartridge like the Atari 2600. Now, it's a oil finding game. So you set up a oil company. I'm assuming it's in Texas, going by the cartridge. And you set up this company and you go out looking for oil. So depending on where you drill, it costs you money. And then you can make money by striking oil. And me and the mate used to play this all the time. to see who could strike oil and become filthy rich out of the two of us. So it was one of my favorite games on the Tandy Coco 3.
Keep it up to the TV.
Those are supposed to be the demons that turn to diamonds when you hit them with your laser. I've got all the diamonds.
Number 4 is a bit of a cheat, or a bit cheeky. It's Game & Watch Collection 1 and 2 for the NDS. Now, this does come over 2 different cartridges. Originally, you had to collect points and then you could get these. Now, Game & Watch is one of my favorite things from my childhood. I had Octopus and my brother had Soccer. But I absolutely love these, and when I found out you could actually get them on the NDS, I did sort these out, and out of all the NDS games, if I had to sell anything, I could not sell these. Even though I've got some of these now on the original handheld, I just love the fact that I could keep one of the NDSs and still play these without any issues. So really could not part with the Game & Watch Collection 1 and 2.
Don't miss Pitfall, the smash hit that everybody wants. Get it before they're all gone. Pitfall.
Coming in at number 5 is Kadash for the Mega Drive. Now, I know there is some better ports out there on different systems, but Kadash on the Mega Drive has fond memories for me because it is what I played after I could no longer find it in the arcade. The amount of money I put in playing Kadash at my local arcade is insane. But in saying that, that machine was replaced at some point with, I don't think it was Street Fighter, I think it was Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat came out, and all of a sudden the arcades were flooded with these machines, and a lot of machines just disappeared or had their boards swapped out. So when I found it on the Mega Drive at the local video store, I used to borrow this constantly. For those who do not know what Kadash is a kind of a unique blend of RGB and platform elements. It's a bit of a challenging game, but it can be rewarding if you stick at it. It's set in like a medieval fantasy world. It takes a while to play it. I have completed it on an emulator for the arcade version. There's a video on my channel, another one if you want to go and check out, see the full gameplay of that. But I have fond memories of this. Now, unfortunately, I could never find an original copy on the Mega Drive. I don't know if no one's willing to part with one, or they were super rare in Australia. I do have a reproduction version that I brought online. It is fine. I have had a few comments saying that these reproductions can damage your original hardware, and I'm not sure how true that is. I don't normally play this because I do play the arcade version on an emulator on my computer.
Okay, ladies, game time. Yeah. Got this new video game by Activision called Freeway. I just plug it into my...
Number 6, The Adventures of Alandra on the PS1. Now, I've never been a huge RPG fan, as it's more the time restrictions. I usually start playing them, but they end up, especially when you end up getting bogged down. I believe, I looked it up, Alandra, some people, I think it's like a 14-hour gameplay, and that's without any mistakes and saves. So yeah, like if you could play it from beginning to end, it should take you around 14 to 15 hours if you're really good at it. I am not really good at RPGs, but I do love this game. This is a game I fell in love with. I don't know why I borrowed this. Like I said, I am not a huge RPG fan, but for some reason this just grabbed my attention at the video store. I rented it, took it home, and started playing it, and I was nowhere near close to finishing this game when I had to return it. I think it was, I think you had a week. You get 1 week, and then you had to return it. So when I went back, no one had reserved it, so I asked if I could borrow it again, and I borrowed it on and off for a while. until I never did complete it. But I think the PS2 had come out, or somehow I got a PS2, and I never got back to it. But I absolutely love this game, and I really want to get back to it and complete it. But after seeing how long the playtime is, I don't know if I've got time these days to play anything of that level. But it is a super hidden gem. If you have not played the Adventures of Alandra, try to find it, go out and get it. If you're an RPG fan, you will not be disappointed in this game. There is a sequel. I haven't been able to get hold of that, and I haven't played that. But the few hours of hours I have put into this game, I am such a big fan that it's just disappointing I have never been able to find the time to get back into it.
All through the ship, not a sensor was flashing, not even a blip. When there was a huge crash to the bridge, I then ran.
Number 7, Disney Golf on the PS2. I know it sounds like a kid's game, and I think it was originally designed for a kid's game, but it is super fun. I have great memories with this game, playing it alongside my uncle. He was a huge gamer, and somehow we fell in love with Disney Golf. I don't know if we borrowed it, but somehow we ended up with it, and we used to have a blast playing this game, especially when we got my cousins involved. We'd all take turns playing it. We eventually went out and brought this. It wasn't that expensive back in the day. I think it was like 20 Australian dollars. I have super fond memories of this, and I just couldn't imagine parting ways with Disney Golf. Now, it is similar. I think it uses the game mechanics of another PS2 game called Swing Away Golf. So if you played Swing Away Golf, you pretty much played Disney Golf. The only difference is all the characters are now fairly well-known Disney characters like Goofy, Mickey, Donald, Daisy, Minnie Mouse. I think there might be Pete. I could be wrong there. But yeah, there's a whole heap of Disney characters you can choose from. If you haven't played Disney Golf, it is worth seeking out and finding it. It's one of my favorite golf games. It just holds super memories. So I couldn't part with that. I'd have to keep that on my shelf.
Golf. Listen tonight. Play it.
Number 8, Mousie Trap on the ColecoVision. Now, what holds this special in my heart is this is the game, as I said before, PacMan was my jam back in the day. And when we went over to family friends, they had a ColecoVision. They would let us play it from time to time. And Mousie Trap was one of the games they had. And that is the game that I could play without getting too frustrated. So Mousie Trap is kind of like PacMan. I think it came out just after PacMan. It was like a PacMan knockoff kind of thing in the arcades, and it was ported. I think you could get it on the Atari 2600, but the version I played originally was on the ColecoVision. I just could never part with that game. I love that game so much. It's probably only second to the PacMan on the Atari 2600, but I grew up with playing Mousie Trap at their place, so it holds a super special place in my heart.
Can't play on any other system. No other home video system can touch it. The new Atari 5200 Super System.
Number 9 is Maniac Mansion on the Commodore 64. Now, this holds super special memories for me, as this was the game that was brought to me by my mother on my birthday. And Maniac Mansion is a point-and-click adventure game. It would have been probably one of the kind of first ones out there that you didn't have to type. You just clicked on the word and the object or whatever you're doing. Sierra had a lot of adventure games, but they weren't technically full point and click. You still had to type in things for those. With this one, you didn't have to type anything, you just clicked on what you wanted to do. and you played multiple characters, you swap between characters until you achieved your goal. But it holds super special memories. This is a game that was brought for me by my mother on my birthday, and I've kept that close to my heart and in my collection from the very first day she brought that game for me. There is a couple of videos of me talking about that, and there's a couple of gameplays. I do have a copy on the NES, and I did a gameplay not that long ago, so if you want to go, actually last week, so if you want to go and check that out, to go and check out Maniac Mansion on the NES. There is a few differences.
We've got Centipede, Ms. PacMan, Vanguard, and Galaxian.
Number 10 is Zack Kraken and the Alien Mindbenders. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the original big box version, which I would love to get hold of, but I do have the next best thing, which is the extra large version. Now, I've got it on IBM. I would have loved to have got it on the Commodore 64 or the Amiga, but unfortunately I never had that opportunity. I did pick this up. It's a bit of a funny story. I'll leave a link. There is a video where I talk about that story, so if you want to hear about how I came about getting the box version of Zack Kraken, I'll leave a link to that video in the description or at the end. It's just, I love this game so much, I just can't part with it. I did look at getting a reproduction version through limited game runs, but as everyone knows, if you're not on the ball, they sell out really quickly, their items. I've looked on eBay, and the limited run games are almost the same price as some of the original boxed versions. Now, I did see someone in the States is selling a Commodore 64 version untested for over $1,000. I'm not sure if I could justify spending that much, and I think there's an Amiga version also for $1,200. So I would have to sell my collection to get a good copy of Zack Kraken.
This is Pitfall, the smash hit video game by Activision that everybody wants for the Atari Video Computer System.
Well, there you go, guys. That is the new list of 10 games I wouldn't get rid of in my collection in the year 2024. A few things have changed since 2017, but some have stayed the same. I still have Disney Golf, Maniac Mansion, and Zack Kraken on the list, but to be honest, I think I'd really find it hard to get rid of any of the games in the old list as well, and there's plenty more in this collection that I guess I would have to pry from my cold dead hands when that day arrives. So let me know in the comments what you thought of this list and what games would you put in your list. And don't forget to like and share this video because it really helps out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell because I upload a new video every week. Well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Hello? Somebody out there? Retrospectreviews, the YouTube channel.
Subscribe now, if you dare, to stop Vince from lurking in your garden shed. Don't let the terror continue. Subscribe and stay safe, if you can. Rated PG-13.